defenseless. And then we'll be up on the border in one of the most dangerous cities on the border, just exposing what the cartel is doing. There's a cartel war going on, multiple cartel wars going on. It's cartels warring each other as well as warring the government because of the policies President Trump has put in place. But real quick, I want to mention what you said in the intro. What we have at our southern border is the best southern border we've had in decades. But the biggest problem we have right now are two things. We have NGOs that are training illegals on how to break the law and how to stay in this country illegally. And we have judges that are fighting our own ICE and our own immigration policies to get rid of these illegals that are allowing illegals to stay. And that's the biggest problem we have right now. On the south side of the border, and again, you said it, they're directly aiding and abetting the cartels. On the south side of the border, you've got cartels that are fighting over territory, fighting over drug routes because that gravy train that Joe Biden gave them is being sucked up. And with scarcity comes fights. And that's what we're seeing right now. There's more scarcity than we've seen down there in 4 years. And so the cartel's fighting for every last inch that they can secure.
Fighting for the few areas, fewer and fewer areas that they can traffic their women, their children, and their drugs, right? Yeah,
that's it. Yeah. So, the drug routes are well established. You've got major routes through the ports of entry. That's where still a majority of drugs come through. But you also have tunnel networks under cities like Juarez into El Paso, by the way, which those tunnels were dug by Hamas and Hezbollah that came over and taught the Sinaloa cartel how to do that. They're still operating in conjunction with those organizations. But you've got those, but you also have major drug trafficking routes that are still operational out in areas like Sassabee, Arizona, in the Tohono O'odham Indian Reservation. That's a multinational Indian reservation. So those areas are still battlegrounds for the cartel.
But then you also have the other side Ben.
Now,
can I just stop in there for so if they dig under the border, which I've been in those tunnels. There's thousands of them, and they're this big, and they run electricity through them, and sometimes fans through them. And sometimes the fans break and people die in the tunnels. I get. But if they dig through and end up on an Indian reservation, the feds can't bust them there, can they?
Well, Border Patrol operates there, so they can. We still have jurisdiction on the border, but the problem is down there they don't even need that. It's so open. There's no wall down in the Tohono O'odham Reservation. It's just a chain link fence. Barbed wire fence. So they don't need a tunnel down there. They just simply walk across. In fact, they can drive trucks on the Mexico side. They have a gates that they can just simply drive through. The Indian Reservation has special permissions that they can drive across. It's sovereign land. And so they don't even have to do a border check. They just simply drive from Mexico into the United States.
But a border cop, ICE or CBP could stop an Indian reservation vehicle they suspect of carrying illegals?
Yes. So we still have the operational control on certain aspects of the reservations, but you don't have the security that you have in other parts of the border that are controlled by the United States fully.
Very quickly, Ben, this whole idea of this judge Boasberg stopping Trump's deportation of Tren de la Agua thugs, criminals. How is that playing out on the border with the men and women in law enforcement on the border? Is it demoralizing?
Oh, well, they're just disgusted. These people, they look at this guy like he's a traitor. He's a traitor to our country. He's aiding and abetting cartels and terrorist organizations and criminals. And he's bought and paid for leftist. He's an activist. He's not a judge. He's an activist. And so, until we actually impeach these guys, until we get rid of these guys, until we have some consequences for actions like this judge and multiple others across our country, then we're going to be in trouble. We're not going to be able to do the mass deportations that have to be done to save this country. If we don't have that, 4 years from now, 8 years from now, the masses of illegals that have brought in are simply going to invite more illegals in, and this country is going to be dead. It's national suicide what Joe Biden and Kamala did over the last 4 years. But if we don't get rid of those, the pillars, the establishment parts of the foundation of this nation that are working to undermine this country from within, the deep state, the judges, all these guys, we're still screwed. So that to me has to be job number one. Go after the NGOs, go after the judges, allow law enforcement to do their job.